have this thing, yeah, this method of controlling the population growth and also the economy of the country.
If you, after you screen the embryo and you notice that maybe they have some sort of disfigurement or something like that of the baby, and they can prepare for it after they're born, wouldn't that be a good thing?
Please, can you repeat your question again?
If through the genetic screening you noticed there was some sort of disfigurement of the baby or some other thing that would affect its quality of life, would you not find, and as a parent you could prepare for it, would that not be a good thing?
I'm not sure you know the answer to your question, but I would try. I would say that it doesn't matter how it is going to be, but still it's a life that should be given its chance to come out. And it's a life that should come out, and I believe that there's a way. There must be a way. And when the child comes out, it could be something different.
An embryo is just a bunch of cells. No heart, no brain, no nerves, so no thoughts, no feelings. How can that be a human life?
That may not be a human life, but if you screen it, like, that may not be a human life, I'm sorry, but you just say maybe, it probably will be. But if you screen it, not even will be, it must not be. So which means, if you screen it, you don't even give a little chance to the one that is supposed to come out. And I believe in life. Life has the right to live.
My question is, what would you understand as the purpose of the genetic screening? Do you understand why they do the genetic screening?
I think a lot of people, they face such a burden of the family, like for the individual, I would say that. They would claim that I have this family financial problem, family burden. That's what I would think. But that would not be an excuse that we should kill a life.
Thank you very much, Cameron. We now come to the last candidate of this category, Mr. Setsian Pesal from Brain Activation, and we're now going to watch his video.
Ini berkenaan dengan aktiviti tempoh, iaitu sebagai okey of identity critical satu bisa dapat menjadi brain and activation skill. Brain activation skills. Let's say number 4. Repeat again. It is SpringBoard. It is 2014.
Will you please warmly welcome Mr. Setsian Pesal from Brain Activation Skills.
Honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this floor and video championship. But today, I have again a very challenging moment when I see so many people can see that our world is about to happen disasters, especially in our communities. While all of us here are gathering around to discuss and to play a prominent role as a policy analyst or even as a policy maker to discuss about what we can do about the new QR process found in our ground. But before I go in depth into the topic, I would prefer to suggest you with some term, because some of you might not really academically trained that kind of matters. So in here, fossil might refer to something old that can give you a drag or a way to reach something else. Whereas fuel refers to something that can use to burn, or can simply refer to a gasoline or the petrol, and remain in the ground, just like in the pattern that you keep it stay still and don't touch it and don't exact it. So in general idea is that we should not touch any fossil fuel found in the ground and stay still. Of course, it is a very controversial issue when both sides have presented a very valid point. So first of all, let's have a look for the pro side. And the first point is that people think fossil fuel should be remain in the ground because it is in accordance with the concept of the environmental sustainable development. It means that you cannot use it at all because it not always exist for many years if you use it from today. So how about the other hundreds or 200 years? Like for example, you were born as a rich man, as a billionaire or millionaire, but then you spend a lot of your money buying such a nice car and building a new house. But so how about your next generation? Probably it can be lasted to your son and your daughter, but how about your great son and great daughter? So the idea is to keep it as a sustainable development. Secondly, for those countries who are less developed or simply known as a developing country, they will not have enough resources to compete with the high technological countries. So if fossil fuel have to be ejected, so then the poor country will not be longer in competitive with those highly technological countries. They have the resources, they have a technical team to work in that, and then all the resources will belong to the rich nation. And then you can see that the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. So are you really happy with that when you wish that the kind of the manner happen in our society? And also turn the power and then giving in return us an economy boost for the country as well. So keep it still, don't touch it, and then we can keep it for longer for the next generation. But at the same time, while many people are due on the pro side, there are some people also think that why we should keep it at the meantime while we have many other necessities by now. Let's say, for example, people are dying every day because they are of hunger. So if suppose that you have a very big house and you have a big yard, and then you probably need to sell some piece of your land in order to take the money to fuel your people. And the world is living in that kind of the aspect right now. People are in hunger. And last but not least, the economy of the country and the poorer country have to be developed. So perhaps we can get some resources from the fossil fuel and then turn it into other way to expand the economy for the country. So in conclusion, it is very critical comment to make sure that resources are only shared when you decided to retrieve it. And all the country out of world can take the same profit. And in the most cases, I tend to believe that fossil fuels should be exempted for the poor nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Setsi and Ms. Ol, and please would the judges ask their questions.
So, Rizal, I have one question for you. So, in your pro side, you mentioned that the fuel should be kept for the next generations. But for how long? It should be kept forever, or what? For example, when it comes to the next generations, and ours to keep for the next generation. So, in this case, in which situation do you think that it's best to take it out?
Wow, it is a wild question, and I love it much, and I hope you guys love my answer to be responded in a couple of seconds. Challenges. Well, as I mentioned in my concept as well, we have to balance and synthesis. What are the most balance, and we take it. Like for example, in the case of Cambodia, are you going to keep it for more than 1,000 years for that, while people need some money to use it as a resource to develop the country? As I raised up one analogy that if you have a big house, but one of the members of your family is sick and he or she is dying, And then are you sure they're going to keep that land and to reserve it forever while they don't care about the people land? Of course not. You're going to sell some part of the land and take the money and ensure the people in region. So probably in the case of Cambodia, we should take further consideration that probably we should take some part of that new fossil fuel and then take the money and then turn it into to generate another means of development to boost up the country economy. Thank you. I hope you satisfied the answer. And I'm waiting for one more question.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Yeah, I was just wondering, what do you think is the best immediate alternative to energy instead of fossil fuel, like wind or solar or?
Yeah, of course. Like for example, in the case of Cambodia, we put into implementation of another hydro dams, like in Kong, Tatai, and other provinces that can generate the water into the electricity, and then the government can sell it to can not only support the locals but also sell it to the foreign country, and then many millions US dollar are made every year. Like recently we have launched a new project at Kong, Tatai, and also a lot of it, and also one more resource that could be referred to the solar energy, that's not really popular here. So I would suggest that the hydroelectric is the best mean instead of the new fossil fuel. And if it can be done, I think that it can generate all over and over again, because there's no limit for the water to flow and then turn the engine into the electricity, and you can use that from generation to generation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, candidates and judges. We're now coming to the final category, the Junior Championship category, and there are 3 candidates.
ឥឡូវនេះយើងឈានដល់ការប្រកួតក្រុមចុងក្រោយគឺក្រុម Junior Championship Category ដែលមានបេក្ខជនចំនួន 3 រូប
First, let's enjoy the video clip of Miss Seti Min from the ICS International School.
ឥឡូវនេះសូមគណៈកម្មការទាំងអស់វិធីទាំងមូលអញ្ជើញទស្សនាវីដេអូឃ្លីបរបស់អូនស្រីសេអ៊ីមានដែលអញ្ជើញមកពីសាលាអន្តរជាតិ ICS.
Hey guys, my name is Ingen and I'm from the ICS International School. I'm 14 and I'm in the junior category. Well, to all of you people out there, please support me and wish me luck and your fingers crossed.
Please would you warmly welcome Miss Seti Min.
សូមជួយខាងបងប្អូនស្រីសេអ៊ីមាន
Well, there's a lot of people here. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have a topic today, and my topic today is neuroscience should transform our understanding of criminal responsibility. Well, my answer to that would be a yes, because a lot of people in our society, they do different things due to what their heart and brain tell them to. Their heart, our brain has nerves that send signals to us and tell them what to do whenever we face a hard situation or stuff like that. For example, if you want to do something challenging, like joining the whiteout competition in the U.S., perhaps, this would be a really challenging thing to do, and it's what your brain tells you to do. So other people tend to do charity work because they are kind and they think that it is good to help people who are in need. We have to lend our helping hand to people who are in need, and also giving our money to people and families that live under the line of poverty. But other people who have mental problems tend to do something strange and start to like feel small, and then they will cut themselves, and also their brains and their mind will like they think bad things, and they're pessimistic, so they will tend to do something weird, and some people are suicidal, so they might lose their life as well. For your stress